single P-hat. P-hats are common in Ocarina of Time, but they're one of the enemies who didn't really make it to Majora's Mask. Almost. There's only one P-hat in the game, and it's a beefed up one that has more health than they usually did in Ocarina. I'm pretty sure it does. And you can find it in a grotto, south side of Terminal Field. And you get a heart piece for actually being it, so it's somewhat of a mini boss. It's been upgraded. I don't think it releases mini P-hats though. And it's just a bit weird because, again, it's never explained why there's only one single one here, what happened. I guess it's like a rare, almost cryptic, endangered species in Termina compared to Hyrule, and good job because you killed the last one remaining. Talking Gyptos. So this adds a lot of disturbing layers of subtext. So, as you know, playing through the game, you get the Gypto mask, and the Gyptos in the well, ordinarily they just attack and jump on you like usual. But if you wear that mask, they don't, and you can actually talk to them, and they'll ask you to bring them things. And this is a bit weird, because this is like a monster that like eats you, but apparently it's sentient enough to speak, and I don't know, it just adds a kind of weird layer to it, because, you know, people thought that like Redeads and Gyptos, maybe they're like zombies of people, but like some text or lore, I don't know how accurate or canon it is. It's like, oh no, they're not, they're just like created from magic, and I don't know, despite that, either way, there's still, like, enough intelligence there for them to, like, talk and want things, and I don't know, it's just strange, because most of the creatures that you see here just seem, like, mindless, and, like, you attack them, you slay them, that's it, but then here you're killing a creature with, like, some sort of brain power, and I guess it just makes you think. The Goron Ghost. So another thing that you'll normally encounter is playing through the game, there's that giant Goron, Big Goron, it basically is the same motto. Blowing the way from the Snowhead Temple, and you have to play Goron's Lullaby to make it go to sleep, but it's also invisible first, only being visible if you wear the Lens of Truth. And it's never really explained why he was like that. I mean, like, you play the Lullaby, he goes to sleep, and he just, like, tumbles off to the abyss, and almost looks like he passes away there, but no, something that I think a lot of people might actually miss is that you can see him just casually chilling out on the rock afterwards, and he's normal, and he's visible normally. But why was he basically a ghost beforehand? Why was he invisible? It's just like Shiro, it's never explained, and it's odd and an often overlooked thing. Girons. Speaking of this really notorious weird enemy that I've been told when I posted this Iceberg first, like, we don't talk about this. You know those weird rolling rock things on the way to Icon, and they have eyes and they explode and stuff? Have you ever gotten a really good look at them? Have you noticed that they look a bit like Gorons, and they're almost like off-brand ones? And take a closer look at it, because these things are like curled up in a ball, and they have limbs and stuff, and they almost remind me of like a weird like Geodude like Pokemon, and more like Grappler. What's the deal with these things? They're never explained. Why is there like this weird like fake pseudo-Goron creature, and they're just so strange looking, everything about them's odd, and just can't really explain anything about them, and I love them. Gomez, I love this guy. This guy alongside Death Sword and like the Skeleton Captain need to be in like a true Hyrule Warrior sequel. Anyway, this is the very often overlooked boss that you fight in Stone Temple Tower, and, you know, it's a really big horror design with the scythe and everything, and, like, he's practically, like, the Grim Reaper in the sense, and, yeah, it's just so odd, because, like, he's such, like, a horror-based thing, and he's just another one of those, like, weird, scary things in Majora's Mask, but, again, he's just never really talked about. Garo and their lore. So this is a fake thing, and you get some hints about them, like what they were exactly, and how they're the clan of ninjas that ran around Ikana at some point, and you get to face their leader even, but that's about it. A lot of it's just left up open in the air, and yeah, like, you don't really get too many deals in it. I guess that's part of the point, because they are like a mysterious band of ninjas, and that's it though, like, you don't really hear much else, and you get their mask that, like, the freaking circus people had for some reason, and there's not much else to it. It's just another weird, dark, eerie thing connected to Ikana. And fun fact, the Garo mask is named after Jason eternally. Great War of Ikana. So another thing that you just vaguely hear about while in Ikana is that there's some war, and it's part of its dark history, and that probably helped, like, slaughter a lot of the inhabitants there. It might be kind of why it's just a dead wasteland, and it's why there's so many skeletons and ghosts and everything running amok, and whatever it is probably the main thing that just caused it to give up. And I don't know if we ever hear what caused this war exactly. Maybe it had something to do with Majora. Anju's mannequin. So this is something that I feel like is like a really overlooked, eerie asset of Majora. Nothing too spectacular about it, is that when you look at the mannequin that's dressed up in Anju's room and it has the mask on, it's just another thing that just looks super creepy and weird, especially with that, like, off smile and the blank eyes. And I remember Finny in particular during his randomizer looking at me like, it's so weird and creepy. Again, like, it's just, like, Majora being Majora, just making things look as disturbing and possible, and, like, this is something that just tends to go underground for it. Sharp's Curse. One of my favorite horror things in the game. So, as you know, when you're playing it, you go into that area at the end of Ikana, and there's Sharp, and you have to, like, play the Song of Storms that you learned from his brother in the graveyard, and you help him out and cure the water of that, blah, 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 and start some windmill on. But before that, he plays his song Sharp's Curse, and this is a song that has the power to physically harm Link, and, you know, it's kind of funny too, because he's just playing music, and then Link's all like, and he runs away, and he's doing it because he thinks that you want to die, which is another odd thing, and if you try playing the Song of Healing from first, which makes sense, he's like, well, that's a nice little song, but it doesn't do anything for me, which means he's so far gone that song doesn't even work on him. And, you know, like, it's weird too, because, like, he seems to, like, weirdly have, like, good intent to what he's doing too, and I don't know, I just think the whole thing is just, like, fascinatingly eerie, just, like, the idea of, like, a piece of music, like, having the power to do physical harm to someone, and I think it's pretty cool, and this is, like, one of the more, like, overlooked dark parts of it that I just think is really intriguing. Anyway, next we're gonna get to some really deep theories.